Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today I decided to do a Q&A about exchange year because when I was still on my exchange year I asked for questions over Instagram, but I attempted to do a video and answering them, but I don't know, it just wasn't good enough for me. I never really uploaded it, so I'm attempting to do it again. But I am getting ready at the same time, so it's like a get ready with me Q&A kind of thing. Let's get into the video. I also have my coffee here. I have a new oat milk with vanilla taste. I wanted to try it and it's actually really good. Also, if I look here, it's because my mirror is here. I can't see myself in the camera. So the first question that I got was, how are you feeling about leaving soon? That was I think a month before I left. I remember I had mixed feelings. I was excited to go back home and see everybody again and you know, just go home. But I was sad because I knew that when I left, and even when I come back visiting, it just wouldn't be the same, and not all the people are in one place at the same time anymore, if you know what I mean. That made me sad, and for one part I didn't really want to leave too. I just really liked the people that I met there, the friends that I made, and I was sad to leave them all behind. And yeah, but I'm gonna start doing my makeup now. I'm gonna start with concealer. But as I mentioned, I was really happy to see my family again. I was just sad to leave the people that I met there behind because I don't know, it felt to me I just met them and I just got close to them and then I had to leave again, and that kind of it just wasn't great. But I'm gonna wet this really quick and I'll be right back. Usually I tap in concealer everywhere but under my eye, so I'm gonna do that. Also, I already did my eyebrows this morning because I had school, but I only had 2 periods. So anyway, one thing that I read once, it just makes sense. I think it said you're not gonna feel 100% at home or even at the right place when you leave your hometown and live somewhere else, I guess. It just describes the situation very good. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the next question now. And the next question is the high school like in the movies? I got that question so many times. Honestly, if you think about it, is life like in the movies? No, it's not, you know. There's some points that are the same, even with the high school, it looks the same mostly, and it's just school, but it looks like in the movies. And sometimes there's things that are the same in the movies, and I mean there is football and stuff, and sports is very big in the US, in schools, that's the same, I guess, and school spirit. But honestly, the school spirit in my school wasn't really that big much, I guess, you know. Let me get into the second step. I usually do contour. Yeah, I usually just put a little bit here, not too much, because I'm gonna go over with the powder and then my nose. And at this point I look crazy. I'm gonna blend it all out. Next question is, how did you deal with homesickness? Honestly, I don't think I ever was homesick. I did miss my family and the people here, but I don't think I was ever homesick. And honestly, it doesn't happen to everyone, but if it happens to you, it's totally normal and you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. But what I would say, what I would have done would probably just be distracting myself and telling people about it, so they can do stuff with you, I guess, and help you, talk to you. I remember I asked for tips in my farewell book, and let me read them to you because there were some really good suggestions in here that people wrote for me. Also, if you're interested in my farewell book and what even that is and just how it looks like, I have a video about it. I don't know. I have this one page and then I asked for tips when I'm homesick, and people just wrote, talk to people about it, distraction, which I already mentioned, and then somebody said that your hometown and the people there won't run away. Things might change, but they're always gonna be there, and where you are right now in your exchange year is never gonna be there again. It's gonna be there, but it's not going to be the same, and you're probably not going to be there for a longer time anymore. And like, just try to enjoy the moment, because the people at home, you're gonna see them soon enough. You're like, it goes by so fast, and I know everybody says it, but it's the truth. And then somebody else said that you just have to let it be like that. You have to accept it, you have to face it, because it's just a part of it. And it can be like kind of beautiful, because you miss people that you love so much, and that's something beautiful to have people that you love so much and people that love you so much that you really miss them. And then somebody said that you should make a list with all the things that you like in the US, and that you want to still do, experience, accomplish, whatever, so you like kind of have your goals in front of you, and so you can be excited for the rest of the time you're there. I don't know, I just think those things were helpful. I just never really had to use them, which is also good, but you know. Anyways, let's go to the next step and question. I'm gonna go over with the powder blush now, powder bronzer. The next question is, I'm going on exchange this year. What should I really not forget to bring? Honestly, this question is hard, because there's like a few things. I mean, like the basic stuff, like your passport, your phone, like the important stuff. But like, honestly, you can buy, not the passport and stuff, but like with the rest of your stuff, you probably could buy everything in the US if you forget it. So you probably shouldn't think about it too much, because that's only gonna stress you out before you leave. What I would say, if I would have been really mad at myself if I forgot it, was my farewell book, because I put so much energy and time and everything in there, and if I forgot it, I would have been mad at myself. The next question was, how long did it take you to make friends? I'm gonna put setting powder on my face now. I remember like it was really hard for me to make friends, and I talked about it in the video that was like, watch this before your exchange year. It was really hard for me, and at some point I was like, okay, I'm never gonna get friends here. And it took me a long time finding American friends, because I think that's a tendency that a lot of exchange students do. If you go to school, you're probably gonna connect with the exchange students first, and then it can be harder for you to meet other people from the US, because you're most likely gonna hang out with them. So like, people might be intimidated to talk to you, you know what I mean? So like, try, like, it's good to make exchange student friends, like international friends, but try to find other people too, if you know what I mean. Also, I'm gonna do blush now, because that's what happened to me. And I also had like a double placement, and I was really happy about that, so I wouldn't be alone, you know. I was with her, and we had like most of our classes together, which was, I think that was also like not a problem, but like, if we have the same classes, we're gonna be like together and sit next to each other. And so like, try not to do that, because I think it's gonna be harder for you. I would say like, as soon as I joined soccer, which is a tip, join a sport, something, a club, anything that will bring you together with people. And like, it didn't took me long, like I was talking to them at practice and stuff, but like I think like becoming really good friends with them was like literally the last 2-3 months before I left. Like, it was the best time I had there, and like, you know, it was all worth it. But like, you're not gonna become really close friends with somebody until like probably the end of your exchange year. Just don't stress about it, because friendships don't happen overnight. Like, it happens over time. And yeah, I'm gonna put highlighter on my face now, this here first, and then I go over with that. The next question is, what are you doing when you're back? And I went to school before I left, and I just went back to that school, and that was possible. I had to request it at my school, but they accepted it, so yeah, that's what I'm doing now. The next question is, where were you placed? I was in Florida, and I wasn't in a big city. Like, that's like one thing everybody thinks, like, if they pay so much money to go to California, Florida, and then they end up in a little country town, I guess, and then they're mad. But like, the exchange organizations tend to put people in a little town more, because like, that's honestly, that's the most American experience, because most of America is just small towns, and you know. Oh yeah, I was in a small town in the middle of Florida, and yeah, And then another question was, did you travel during your exchange? And if so, where? I did. I was really lucky to travel. I went to a few states. Let me think about it. For Thanksgiving, my host family and I went to Tennessee and we drove there. So like I passed through other states. I passed through Georgia and I think it was only Georgia. I'm not sure. But like we passed through Atlanta and that was really fun for me to see, you know. And then in Tennessee, I was like in the mountains. But we went to like North Carolina just like for a day, but like that was also in the mountains, so like I didn't see that much of North Carolina, but I was technically there. And then for like a week before Christmas, I went to New York with my double placement and another exchange friend and like her host family, and that was really fun. Like that was the highlight of my exchange year. It was so much fun. I'm so grateful that I was able to go there. Everybody wants to go to New York during Christmas time, I guess. It was just like, it was really fun and I had a great time. And then at the end of my exchange year, actually, for like farewell days instead of welcome days because of COVID, it's also in New York, but like I didn't spend, like it was just one day in the city, but I was still grateful for it. So I technically went to New York twice. But yeah, I think that was it. I traveled in Florida. My parents came to visit me and we went to Tampa and like to the beach and then in the city, and then we went to Miami Beach and just explored Miami and stuff. And then we went to St. Augustine, and yeah, that's where I have been in Florida, I guess. So for the last step, I'm gonna do mascara. And then the next question is, with what organization did you go and do you recommend it? I went with EF, and like honestly, like I think like sometimes they were really good. Like when I changed my host family, like they were there for me and like it happened really quick, and they like took me and my double placement out of that situation really quick. But like I felt like sometimes the organization like is a very big organization, and like they had an overview, but like I felt like they were kind of overwhelmed, I guess. Like sometimes I felt like there were so many people that it wasn't really like personal and all. If you want that, then probably you should go for a smaller organization. But I feel like no organization is perfect. Like you're not gonna get an organization and think everything they do is perfect. Like you're gonna have something that you don't like that they did. Kind of forgot about my coffee. The last question is the best memory, and honestly, like I can't tell you one thing that I remember that was like, oh my gosh, that was the best memory I had. But like there's little things, like for example, like the soccer games were always a highlight. Even though we were really bad and always lost, it was still like a great time with my team, and like going there with the school bus and then going back home, like it was just a great feeling. Also, I mentioned New York was really great. Like that's a really great memory that I have. I do have a video on that if you were interested in that. Okay, so that was the last question. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and your question got answered, and that's my final look. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss a video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!